Good evening. Welcome to Parkside Chat, episode 16, I believe.
Wow.
And
Wow.
the final episode of the season.
You're still going with the music?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't get your tinsel in a tangle. I'm Brian.
And Christmas is such a magical time of year. I get to watch my money magically disappear. I'm TJ.
And dear Santa, I was framed. I'm Liz.
So TJ wanted us all to do
Funny intros.
funny intro, so that's our take on the funny intro. And
We're going to try to
taking
switch
the
them
hat
up
off too.
next episode too. So be ready.
Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every
let's
episode
do
we're
it.
going to have a different one.
Oh my. It sounds like a lot of work.
Fun.
All right, so welcome everyone. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us. We are going to do a very casual, super casual episode. This is the last episode of the year. We're just going to kind of run down some of the things. We don't even have a list going.
Nope.
We're just going to run down some of the things that we've been doing. And maybe it'll encourage you to do it whether you're in Orlando or you're in your own town to get in the holiday spirit. And then this is the last episode. So for the season, so we will potentially be back. Let me look at the calendar. I haven't even looked at the calendar to see when we would be back. We might not be back until middle of January, to be very honest. There's some things up in the air that we don't know the answers to yet.
But
But we'll talk about that.
very special
This
announcement.
episode, we're going to talk a little bit about why we potentially won't be back until middle to end of January. Making sure my mic is still good. So Liz, we're going to start with Liz. And Liz, we're doing a Liz sandwich today because she's in the middle.
You can boot me to the side. It's fine.
No, you're good. I think we
I
should
thought
keep
you were
in
going
the
to talk
middle.
about my Christmas sweater.
I should look at you. I
Mhm.
know. I should look at you like this, so it looks like I'm like talking
Yeah.
to you. So Liz,
Hello, Brian.
What are we, the Brady Bunch? What's going on here?
what was that one that somebody was like? They were in boxes. We watched that together, and they're like, somebody didn't tell so and so that they weren't going to be in the middle box. I forget what it was for.
Was it
Can't
from
remember.
like Jimmy Kimmel when he did one with the Avengers? That was a good one.
I don't know. I forget, but I think it was a singer, and he looked like he was like looking all around, but he was on the side box. Like the small corner, and he's looking at people that aren't there. I forget what I saw that on. Anyway,
Shame.
Liz, what holiday things in Philly have you done? Have you done anything? I know you've been busy with work, but have you
I've
done
been busy
anything?
with work. Tinsel is open. So Tinsel is this really cute pop-up bar that they only do stuff for Halloween, which you've been to, Brian.
Yes.
Halloween, and then they retheme it for Christmas. It's similar to the bar that you guys just went to with Rhino, but way more compact. Like there isn't even seating inside.
So what do
So
they
that's super
do? What do they do outside of Halloween and Christmas? Nothing?
Nothing. I don't even
Like it's
think
not
the
open?
space. Yeah, not open. No, Pickles is going bye-bye.
So they make enough money
sit.
to warrant the space being. I'm sure they use it for like private
They
events.
They have other restaurants next door, within the same family. So I think it's just that they had the space and they open it up for that time, part-time during the year. But that we have Tinseltown, which is at FGR Park, which will be the soon home for the World Cup when it's here in Philly. So they're making use of all the land now with this big outdoor spectacular ice skating, ice slides, big light installations. It looks really, really cute. I think we're going to go next week.
Nice.
And then
are
you
they
were telling me
charging for
about
that?
Miracle. Yes. There's a charge for that.
So your Miracle, which we'll talk about Miracle in a second, your Miracle is kind of far away from the
It'll
center
be a
of
drive.
from
Yeah, it'll
city
be a drive
center.
from Philly.
Yeah, but my thing. Okay, so Miracle. I've been to one in Oklahoma City, and I've been the one here now. It's okay. Like in terms of like the decoration, I thought ours was decorated here was decorated the one better than the one in Oklahoma that I went to. And
Mm.
I don't know what the Miracle Pop-Up franchise, I don't know what their rules are, but I think some places probably do the bare minimum of the rules,
Mm.
and then
Mhm.
others like go all out with their decorations. Anyway, but our Miracle
If
was
I had the
good.
chance to go, I would go. But
Yeah.
December's just, I feel like December's just a busy month, and unless you plan it early enough, you're going to run out of
Mhm.
time. Like the fact that it's already December 11th is terrifying
We've been looking
because
at
I
the
have not done my
calendar.
shopping yet.
Yep, me neither.
Mhm.
We've been looking at the calendar and we can't believe that basically December for us is over.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
it's wild.
crazy. Very
It's wild.
wild that it's already the 11th and we really only have 1.5 weeks till Christmas basically. It feels
Yeah.
very fast.
Mhm.
Very
Yeah.
fast. So anyway, we were at Miracle, which they call it here Miracle and Orange because that is the name of the street that the
Mhm.
bar is located on. And
It's in
Orange Ave is a popular street in Orlando.
Winter Park, yeah.
In Winter Park.
Mhm.
Excuse me.
No,
TJ's being one of those. Oh, it's not in
I'm
Orlando.
Don't get your tinsel in a twist,
Yeah, don't get
Brian.
your
for the people
tinsel
to
in a
know.
tangle.
Oh, in a tangle.
But
That's what it was.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I think the drinks,
My mom asked if we were drunk.
no.
And
I was not.
we were not drunk. We were just having fun. Ryan, I don't think was really drunk, and I don't think that Amber was drunk either. We were just having a good time.
Hmm.
It's fun to be
You,
with friends.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think you get your money's worth. So for this event, you do have to put down a deposit. It's 15 per person, and so there was four of us. But
Mhm.
that does go towards your bill at the end.
Oh,
And
okay.
a majority of the drinks were $15, so that'll pay for the first round.
Hmm.
And
Which $15 drinks these days
are like, but
doesn't sound horrible. It's not the best. It's not the worst.
but I think it's worth it because of the size of them and then how they're made. I think they're done very well.
Yeah, I think
Do you
overall,
have to
any
keep
kind
the
of
cups?
You don't keep them, but you
no,
can buy them.
which
Oh,
they're kind of expensive.
Yeah, and there weren't any that
really?
I like fell in love with. Aside from there was
Wow.
the Carol Barrel that I really I really loved, but we didn't end up buying any because we were like,
Mm,
when are we gonna use this?
yeah. No, the T-Rex one was cute.
Yeah, with the little T-Rex arms.
But if you haven't watched
Oh,
we have a full YouTube video on it that TJ did a great job of editing. It's currently
amazing.
on the YouTube channel right now. So you can go watch our full experience with Rhino and Amber, and it was a great time.
Great company to have.
Yeah, it was fun. And so let me talk about this, and I just posted this on Reels today and on TikTok. I don't think it's on YouTube Shorts yet.
It'll
But
be there Wednesday.
okay, so TJ scheduled it out. So before we went to Miracle on Orange, because TJ could get us only an 8:15 at the Courtesy, which is where Miracle on Orange takes place, the bar. Um, he could only get an 8:15, which was fine because those reservations go quick.
Mhm.
And we definitely recommend you have reservations because there was people there that were outside of the door saying it was a 2-hour wait. So be
And that was
mindful
like
of
during
that.
the
Woof.
week too,
Yes. And they only take reservations for parties of 4,
or
and
more.
you can't, or more, and you can't cheat the system and show up with only 2 unless you just want to eat the cost of
Mm.
the deposits for those other 2 people, whatever. Anyway, so we needed a place to eat before because 8:15 would be too late for us to eat. So I picked a spot that I had been hearing about that I had kind of ventured over to and saw before. It is called Garp and Fuss, and it is in a. It's not really a courtyard per se. It's like a hidden little side street
Mhm.
off of Park Avenue in Winter Park, and it was very quaint.
Mhm.
It looked so cute.
It's very
It
cute.
kind of gave the vibe of what's the restaurant that we always go to in Philly, where it's like the multiple rooms, it's dog themed.
Oh, like White
White
Dog?
Dog.
Yeah,
White
White
Dog.
Dog Cafe.
It
Yeah.
was similar to that as far as like the rooms, but it was very like quaint.
Not
Yeah.
decorated in the way that White Dog is, but the fact
Hmm.
that there's multiple rooms and obviously,
They had different themes.
Like
well, I wouldn't
care
say
to
that.
theming of each
No,
room.
I wouldn't have different themes.
Not to the extreme, but like
It just
they.
seemed like there was multiple businesses in there before, and they were combining different
Mhm.
Mm.
rooms together to make one. But no, the theme was just kind of like eclectic, quaint, family owned restaurant,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it was very nice. So check out the video. If you haven't heard of Garp and Fuss, look it up. If you're familiar with Winter Park, definitely check into it because you might not have even known it's there if you are familiar with Winter Park and you've walked up and down Park Ave.
Might have walked right by it.
Yeah, you probably walked right by the alley.
Mhm.
So anyway, highly recommend. And they have a good happy hour, which lasts
Yeah.
until 7 p.m., which is kind of rare.
That's a nice happy few
Yes.
hours.
I'm guessing it starts at 4 or 5. Not sure when it starts,
Mhm.
but it finished at 7 o'clock.
That's nice.
So that's what we did the other night. And then let's see, we did Sip and Savor on Saturday night, which is a dine around event for the Waldorf Astoria and Hilton, or Signia by Hilton, and it's Bonnet Creek. So it's not technically Walt Disney World property, but it's basically Walt Disney World property because you have to travel through Walt Disney property in order to get to the Bonnet Creek Resort area.
Mm-hmm.
And that is in their convention center, and they have like little booths representing all their different restaurants on that property that you can try samples of their food. And there is tons of beverage vendors. Veuve Clicquot is there.
Sounds
Who
like a
else was
French
there?
designer.
That's a champagne. Who
It's
else
the
was
yellow champagne bottle.
there? Was there were some other big names there too. They had a boba station, which was really cool. Like create
That
your
did
own
look cute.
boba.
And you
So
went
it's a
with
nice
Adriana
event.
there, right?
Adriana with Bippity Boppity Broke, she was there with her boyfriend, her partner, John. So I hung out with them because TJ had a Christmas party for his work or a holiday party for his work.
Mhm.
And then he met me later.
That's nice.
The only thing I would say, which, love this event. This was their first year last year doing it. This was their second year. Last year there was a DJ
Mhm.
and it was fine. This year was a live band and it was like way too loud.
Do you think the space was bigger in the previous one, or do you think they were about the same?
I think it was smaller space this year.
That's kind of what I felt. I liked the space last year because it felt like, of course, like more of an open room, whereas this one, you could kind of look and see where it ends.
Yeah, it was smaller this year, and then the band just needed to. I think John, Adriana's boyfriend, said it sounds like they're singing like they're outside. Like they think that they're outside
Mm.
and that their voices are carrying. And they didn't need to have. The speakers were turned up so loud that it was distorting their voice.
Mhm.
So.
Mm.
But anyway, this is a great event. And for all the alcohol that's there and the food, it starts at 6, ends at 10. It's
That's a long time.
$210. It's $210 plus fees and taxes. So I think it's a really good value if you wanted to do like a staycation, and I would stay the night because if you are interested in partaking in the beverages,
Yeah.
then it would be best to have a room to crash in that
Just-
night.
Just walk right up to. Yep.
Head
Yeah.
upstairs. Yeah.
The other thing that I will say that I will just say this out to the universe. So we're looking forward at staying at Waldorf because they've just renovated all of their rooms. So we should be staying there sometime in the first quarter of next year to give everyone a look at the renovations at the Waldorf.
Nice.
We've already stayed this year. We've stayed at the Signia by Hilton, which was just recently renovated, and then they were just waiting on the renovations to be finished at the Waldorf. They
Lovely.
Hmm.
They have updated their arrival experience, aka the lobby. They've updated the lobby bar. I hear that they've renovated the spa, the rooms, and then they're building new section to their convention center. So very nice. If you're looking for a new property, more of a luxury property, then this would be an option for you. Signia is when I research Signia is normally usually classified as a convention resort within the Hilton brand. So I would
Mm-hmm.
say this is definitely kind of more. There's a big convention center there, so they're going to see convention guests, and then Waldorf is a little bit more intimate and upscale. So I like it because it's not Mediterranean. You know how like the Four Seasons is like that Mediterranean vibe,
Hmm.
and then the
Yeah, I mean the White
Ritz,
Lotus.
yeah, the
Yeah.
White Lotus, the Ritz and the JW is the same, and it's just kind of sometimes in Central Florida the Mediterranean vibe is overplayed a little bit too much. This is
Hmm.
a little bit more modern, I would
No,
say.
no terracotta roofs.
No terracotta roofs.
Hmm.
It's
That's
just
okay.
kind of it becomes overplayed, especially when it's a jumbo-sized, huge building. It's like really.
Mhm.
So I really like, especially with the renovations, very nice. And you're close to Disney property.
Hmm.
They are very close.
So let's see, what else can we talk about? What other holiday things have we been doing? We talked about Universal's holiday tour already on the show. I will
Hmm.
say and remind you, everyone, again, that I think that probably this year is one of the best things that we've done
Hmm.
this holiday
Yeah.
season.
Hands down, yeah.
The value is really great. We also attended Orlando Informer,
Hmm.
the mini
Hmm.
meetup that was for adults only.
Hmm.
TJ can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we were graciously invited, and I think that is worth it because the park is pretty much empty and you get as much food as you want. There's literally no wait times. You could walk onto Velocicoaster, and I only did it once
I
because
was
it
gonna
was at
say,
the.
were you a grandpa? I never
I
saw the
was a
poll results.
I was a grandpa, so I only did it once. But you could literally just walk off and walk right back on for
That's
all of the
cool.
rides and islands.
Maybe not Hagrid's,
Maybe.
but the line wasn't coming so far enough that you could see
Hmm.
where the
It
end of the
wasn't
line
out
was
to
for
the
Hagrid's.
train
No, it
at the
was not.
beginning
No.
of Hogsmeade.
It
That's
Hmm.
was
good.
not. So I
Um,
told my. Go ahead, Liz.
I was gonna say, I know that y'all went to Epcot recently too to see Luminous, but have you done like the cookie
Oh, we could talk about
trail
Luminous.
or
We did one
like
cookie from the
the
cookie trail.
Festival of the Holidays there?
We haven't done that, but we just
Okay.
did one cookie. We did the spiced one, right? Which one did we do?
We did the Mexican chocolate
Mm.
one, I
I was
think,
gonna
Oh,
say
yes,
it's
it was
gotta
the
be
chocolate
chocolate.
one. It
which
was.
Yum,
was delicious.
Mhm.
yum,
We
yum,
watched
yum.
Denny Sunderly.
Mhm.
Is that how you pronounce her last name?
Yes.
We watched
Hmm.
Denny's video. She did the chocolate, or excuse me, she did the cookie stroll,
Mhm.
and we watched her video on it. So if you are interested in a full breakdown and her opinion on which cookies to get and which cookies not to get, you should check out her video. I don't know if we're gonna make it through and do the whole cookie stroll, but I think there's 8 cookies, I think, in total that you can get stamped,
Oh wow.
and you only need 5
Oh, to get your cookie.
stamps to
Mhm.
get your complimentary cookie. The complimentary cookie is a prepackaged cookie that just is a basic sugar cookie, but it is the wishing star from the movie Wish.
Mhm.
Oh, I want to
So
see that movie. I don't
I
know.
do as well.
I might go to the theaters to see it, I think.
I think I'll
What's a good
probably
like
wait for Disney Plus.
Disney?
I want to
Yeah.
see The Color Purple,
Mhm.
and I think I might want to see Wonka in
Wait,
theaters
I
because
have
I hear
an uneducated question. Is there a new The Color Purple out, or are they replaying The Color Purple? New.
So
Oh,
it's a new one. It's not rethemed, but it's a new take on it.
reimagined.
Yes, that's the word.
reimagined. Okay.
Mhm.
So it is music.
Very
It's a
cool.
musical, which I believe the original film version is not a musical,
Mhm.
but there
No.
was a stage production musical of it. So
Hmm.
this is, I'm guessing, a reimagining of the stage production. And
Oh,
it
cool.
features Fantasia, which I love Fantasia, and then also Hallie.
Very nice. Okay,
So,
cool.
and
I just had to ask. I was like, he's talking about it.
who
Never heard of
else?
this. Let's go.
Taraji, yeah.
Taraji P. Henson is going to be in
Oh,
it.
P.
She's one of my
Henson.
favorites.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
So it looks, the previews look good. Adriana and Craig saw it, and
They
well,
loved
I didn't
it.
talk to Adriana about it. I don't think I talked to Craig about it, and he really liked it.
Mhm.
So
Nice.
anyway, so I want to see that.
We saw Beyonce.
We saw Beyonce. That's something we
Saw
did. We saw
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Hmm.
We saw her in premium screening in IMAX, which was excellent.
Hmm. It was so good, I wanted to look for it again, but by the time I started looking, they were all gone. Because they started putting original Christmas movies in IMAX theaters. And I'm like, that's kind of disrespectful. They had their shine.
Let's see. We did.
I mean, people also went to the Beyonce concert, so
We want more.
We saw Luminous at Epcot last week.
Yes.
Mm,
Have you got a chance to watch it,
Have you
Liz?
watched it on the
I
YouTube?
didn't. I've worked 14 days in a row at the museum,
That's right,
so
yeah.
my life was not anywhere but there and then sleeping here. But it's on my list. I'll get it done before I see you in January.
Okay.
So for me, it was kind of melancholy. I think that's maybe the right word.
When somebody loved me. Why?
That was one of the songs. I think the theme of it was kind of, for the overall show, was just progression of life. And that was kind of one of the sad moments in life where, you know, if you've lost someone, I can think that kind of is the replacement of, so, you know, in a Disney show where they do an intro, happy parts, a villain part, and then the end.
Give me the villain part.
I feel like the sad part was in replacement of the villain.
Yeah,
They should have done
that's
like
definitely.
Up would have been a better.
They should have done. They should not have done that. They should have.
Yeah, they could have done Up where there's no vocals.
They should have done. They should have focused on
Yeah.
culture. Is what they should have focused on.
And the world certainly.
They
but,
should have
like,
done culture and unity, and that's what they should have focused on. And there's plenty of songs within the Disney IP that they could have done.
You know what they also should have included? Not that I've seen the footage, but original score
Adrian says
from
the show
Remy
was too
the
literal.
musical.
Okay, Liz.
Remy the musical. They could have
Okay,
included
Liz.
it.
What's his name that's in it?
Remy the Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady.
Nobody knows that.
He makes a surprise
Nobody
appearance.
knows that reference except for you, Liz. Well, and us because we know it because of
My
you.
dreams. No, people know Ratatouille the musical.
Okay.
Sure, Jan.
It was a big deal.
I will say the show overall, it like appeal to the general audience because of the Disney IP. I just feel as though there was one Toy Story song that threw me off. It wasn't the sad one, it was the other one.
You
Because
got a
I feel
friend
like
in me?
it was like, what?
You got a friend in me?
Yeah, because I feel like it was a copy of Hollywood Studios.
There should have been no Toy Story songs in this.
Yeah, there's no.
Basically, what I think is, listen, at this point, for coming from someone who was ready for Illuminations to go, I think at this point, I would take Illuminations over Luminous. You take Illuminations, you have a beautiful harmonious track, which was so well done in terms of the
So
composition. There was no story really in Harmonious like there was in Luminous and Illuminations. But you take some of those things that you've already composed, you do a mashup somehow. Maybe you re-record the narration, but you would do a mashup of Illuminations and Harmonious, redo the narration, and
Tears.
and then you have a show. You, of course, you lose any kind of screen or projection because they don't want that anymore, because obviously the complaints were coming from the tacos in the middle of the lagoon.
I didn't have an issue with them. They were just there.
But obviously people were complaining about it and
Yeah, people didn't
writing to
love them.
Disney. They were obviously complaining about it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have that. You just have the fountains that I guess they float back and forth, which I have not witnessed yet. But
Hmm.
that's what you do. You just don't re-record any new songs. Just mash up the ones that you have. People will probably love that. In fact, Epcot Forever was good.
Mhm.
Did you ever watch that? It was a good show.
Mhm.
But Luminous for me just doesn't hit, except for that one song.
So I will say, yeah,
That
those
first
The original
original
one?
song.
those
But the
were
second original song was not good.
those were some opportunities that we talked about. I will say some of the good things that I loved were, like he mentioned, that first song, because I got goosebumps on that. It was really good. I felt like that could have been
We
the
thought we were
end.
going to get something, but then we didn't
I
get
thought
it.
in my head as we were listening to it the first time, I was like, "Wow, this is really good. I can't wait to hear what the end one's going to be," because I thought that
Right.
could have been at the end.
That could have been the taste
The
of
end
it,
one
but
was
no,
Mm.
that was
the
the
end
whole
one
meal.
was
Another positive is because they don't have projections anymore, you can watch it from anywhere.
This is a great positive. And that's the same thing with
Yeah.
Illuminations and Epcot Forever, is that you can watch it from anywhere. And if you're going to have water with a full pathway all the way around it, you need to be able to watch the show from anywhere. Just
To
like I
have-
think you should be able to watch World of Color from anywhere, but that is not the case either there.
Mm.
And I'll say another positive is, or another good thing, was the fireworks. I thought they were well done. There was a section where
Mm.
a part of one of the archways or whatnot came out and extended, and there were fireworks coming out of that, like shooting out very fast. I thought that was
Oh.
pretty cool. That's pretty innovative.
Yeah, I like that part.
Mhm.
I would say the fireworks and the fountains are fine. Some of the effects of the fountains were like, that's okay. Are they large enough though for that lagoon? I don't know.
And if we're watching
But-
it 360, yeah.
I think at the end of the day, it's just the track, and it's just the track and the story. But we can move on from talking about that because I do want to talk about what I do love about Epcot.
But that last comment.
Okay, Adrian's saying
I read
supposedly
that as Tupac.
Oh,
Listen, you don't know. Tupac's still alive.
okay.
He's apparently, yeah.
Supposedly Luminous was originally a bit more grand, but after feedback, the composer was fired when he was asked to seek his happiness elsewhere.
I love that phrase.
And they got
I use it all the time.
Toprak, which I'm not familiar. I don't know all of the. Maybe you're talking about someone who's creative on the Disney team or who helped, but whatever. I've heard rumors too about that the budget was very restrained for Luminous, and they weren't dealing with a big budget.
That's unfortunate.
And that's why I say, open up GarageBand and do a
I
mashup.
like GarageBand.
Well, you can use GarageBand.
Free with
I'll
any
do it
Apple
right
device.
now. Yep, free with any Apple device. You could create a whole album, right, Liz?
That's right. Go to apple.com/support for help.
All right, so Adrian asked earlier, 20 minutes ago, thoughts on Dreamer's Point. So really, the thoughts overall are going to be more on World Celebration, which is the area that Dreamer's Point is in. I love it. I've only seen it at nighttime because we got there after the sun was already down, because that was the night that we were watching Luminous. But I think that from what I can tell, that it is so well done, and I love all of the seats and areas there are. There was a whole like TikTok or a reel showing how it's a great place for remote workers or work from home people because there's so many
I saw
plugs.
that. Yeah.
And that's
true.
kind of what I thought too. I was like, wow, this is kind of a nice area to hang. Like,
But
People
then in
watch.
like
Charge
the
your
dead of
phone.
summer, it's going to be empty out there because
Right.
it's going to be so hot.
right
And it's all
now,
metal.
right now it's pretty busy. I'm sure because it's new and
It's cooler out.
everyone wants to see it and it's cooler out. But it is very nice. It's great that Epcot doesn't have as many walls up. There are
That's
still
so good to see.
walls, but
Yeah.
and Dreamer's Point is nice. We looked at it from afar. We did not get up close to. Is it the Dreamer statue? What is the statue? Is it the Dreamer statue? I think it's called the Dreamer statue.
I think so. That's what I've heard it referred
So.
to as.
Yeah. Adrian says that they were on the project team. Well, I will say that I love it. Except it was pointed out something interesting about the planter, which we'll just leave that alone. I think Disney will change that sooner rather than later.
Planter.
Are you
Ooh,
looking
what?
up this? I'm just gonna like let that sit where it sits. But it's beautiful. I like how it's like split up into four quadrants, and each of the four quadrants of the whole world celebration
Hmm.
has different lighting elements in
Hmm.
each one, and I think that's really cool. So yes, I'm so happy that the walls are gone.
You can actually like walk through instead of making a long
It's a much
circle.
better use of the space too, because if you remember before, it was fountains that were there, and those were huge fountains that just took up a
Yeah,
bunch of
that's
space.
right.
And I think that this is a
But it
better
was so
use.
nice. So when it opened, the water from all of the countries
Well,
was added.
whatever.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They're somewhere in the earth now, or up in the sky, and they're vapors in the sky now. So we're all good, Liz. I don't know. I just think it's a great use of space. I'm really happy with all the like the hangout space, like
Hmm.
the like that you can sit, and I just think it's nice. So yes, Adrian, kudos to you and your team for that because I love it, and I'm excited to see what the festival center is going to look like
Yes.
and what that's going to entail. And I think the festival center was supposed to open this year, but I think it's pushed back to 2025. So anyway, that's our thoughts on the Epcot updates. So, Adrian says it's a true hub for Epcotians to hang out. Yes, Epcotians. I am an Epcotian. Epcot is my favorite park
You know what that's
on
from,
the.
right?
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Gardens of the Galaxy.
Just making sure.
Wow. Epcot is my favorite
Now I
park,
get the
so of
comment from
course.
earlier.
Oh, now you get
You
it?
you found it.
Oh, you
Okay.
found it?
I
I'm
found it.
telling you, they're going to change that. They're going to change
I
that.
would say by January 1st, it's
Yep.
done.
Well, no, I think in
It's
another 12 months they're going to fix
give
that.
it, yeah. And somebody was like, just add a water feature. I'm like, that's
Right.
worse.
All right.
No, but they took down the wall in the statue in Morocco in 3 days when that one
That's
video
true.
went viral. So they can make it happen.
Hmm.
All right.
Anywho,
Well, that's kind of on my list. What is there anything else? Adrian, do you have any other topics you want to talk about? And what else is happening?
I know we're
Just other stuff since we've last talked. We went to a place called Sushi Saint.
Oh, yeah,
Sushi
Sushi
Saint.
Saint. We went to Sushi Saint,
Hmm.
which is downtown on the, I forget what the proper term or area is called, but it's downtown basically on the west side of I-4
It's
downtown.
like right off of I-4. It's literally right down the street from my job too, which is nice.
It is brought to you by Michelin-starred chef Michael Calantes, who got his Michelin star with Soseki, which still has a Michelin star. I found out Michelin stars can be taken away, by the way. But anyway, I found that out in my research of Singapore, that a Michelin star can be taken away.
Oh.
Singapore, you say?
Yeah, Singapore, we say. So I guess that's a good transition. So last week we did not have Parkside Chat because I was in Miami. And the reason why I was in Miami is because I needed to create or go to an urgent passport renewal appointment in the middle of November. I received an email from a representative of the Visit Singapore Tourism Board, and so very thankful for that email. That has turned into an agreement to travel to Singapore in January, and we are going to
Incredible.
be going to Singapore to basically cover Singapore and show you what everything that Singapore, well, not everything, show you what Singapore has to offer through Brian Trex, the eyes of Brian Trex.
Hmm.
So
And not me.
we,
Don't worry. Don't worry,
sorry,
everyone. I'm staying here
sorry,
in the
Liz.
States. I'll keep it grounded. If we want to have a Monday Parkside with just me, I
You
can just talk
can,
to you.
Liz. You
I'm
know how to
fine
get
with
on.
that.
You know how to get into
Um,
StreamYard.
Yeah, I'll do it.
we can talk about our New Year's resolutions and see how January is going because I'll be alone. But it's fine.
Oh yeah, alone. So anyway, we are going to Singapore next month. We are finalizing the actual like booking and everything through um, our contacts, through our peeps. I'm guessing this week or next. So in the next week or two,
I
we should
hope.
have all
Yeah,
of our
we'll have a
arrangements.
call this week.
Yeah,
So you know
we have a call scheduled this week. So
when you
kind
have
of
to have
exciting.
backpack.
And normally I don't talk about things too much ahead of time, but the agreements are signed, everything is in order, the passport has been gotten.
So talk about that experience to
Yes.
get it.
Yes. So this is a good place to reference back to. I do want to create some content around this. In fact, I really need to create this week while it's still fresh on my mind. But if you are ever in need of an urgent passport, what happens is that right now, if you are renewing a passport, it seems in my research to be a 4 to 6 week wait time to do it via mail. Liz, do you know how long it is for a regular just to get a new passport, like without renewing, just like never gotten a passport before? Do you have any idea?
It's been around 5 to 7 weeks. When Matt and I got our passports last summer, mine was a renewal, got it back within like 10 business days. So it was expedited more than what the wait time had said. And I want to say he got his around 2 weeks later. So I think that those thresholds are a over what's the expression? Under promise, over deliver.
Right.
But I think as long as you have time before your trip, then you can go, the postal service route or go, to a passport office and not
Right.
have to do what you did.
Sure.
But if you think that your passport's expiring and you think you could travel, get it renewed, especially with the real ID stuff in a lot of states. Like,
Yes.
get it done so that you can travel.
So what happened is we traveled to Europe earlier this year in May, and I had in my head, okay, I'm gonna renew as soon as I get back from Europe because there's a window right there, and I should have done that, and I didn't do it.
You're gonna do global entry too.
And I am still gonna do
And
global entry.
renew your TSA pre-check.
Yes, do all those things. I've been horrible at all that. Okay, I let my
Going
TSA.
on.
I've let a TSA lapse. I was doing a job and this, basically 2 full-time jobs, and I'm still basically doing at least 2 full-time jobs. Anyway, all that to say, the opportunity to travel internationally came up this month to travel in January. What happens with your passport is your passport, in order to travel internationally, especially overseas, you can't travel if your passport expires in 6 months or less. Okay?
Yeah.
So if I was traveling in January, my passport was expiring in March, that they would not let me travel with that passport. So keep that in mind if you're new to the passport thing or you've never renewed it before, FYI. So in order to be good with, and for me, doing the mail by mail, it was risking it. I wasn't going to try to risk it because money and a brand deal is on the line. I need to get that passport in my hand and ready to go to basically do what I need to do. So you need to have travel plans within 14 days of your appointment for an urgent appointment. So what I did is created a temporary travel plans and created that reservation so I could have proof that I was traveling. created called the passport line. They only ask you if you're traveling in the next 2 weeks. My answer was yes. They scheduled the appointment. There's several passport locations across the country. Miami is one of them. Philly is one of them where Liz lives. So you just check a
Come
map.
say hi.
They're probably, I would say there's passport locations within an hour to 2 hour flight anywhere in the
Yeah.
United States.
Yeah.
So if you really have an emergency, you might have to fly somewhere, or you might have
Well,
to
I was going
drive
to say
somewhere.
to that point, like the offices are definitely meant for you're traveling because of a funeral, sick family member
Right.
overseas, like, but in this instance, it was so important to get you your paperwork to be able to travel.
But
So it's not a,
from my experience, and I will explain that here shortly, I don't really think that's all it's for.
I know, but like, let's
Because,
say
and
we
I'm
want to
talking
take a
about
cruise
coming
in
from the government. I'm
September.
talking about government people. No, I'm not talking about what people do.
That's fine. But like, if you want to
So,
take a cruise in September of 24 and you submit your deposit for said cruise, and I
mhm.
ask you, do you have a passport? And you tell me yes, and you don't, you need, like, do it now. Don't
Right,
wait.
right,
Because you're fortunate you could hop on a train two days later and go down and do this.
right,
Not everybody has that opportunity to be off from work, make sure that they could get to the appointment, have the appointment. Like, it's really meant for emergencies. And then if the people at the desk aren't really, you know,
right.
keeping that high and tight, then that's on them. But like, don't delay. If you know that you have travel plans months in advance, get it done sooner rather than later.
Yes, don't wait. And I will never
Don't
wait
wait.
again. I will never wait again. I will always just do it as
We
soon
have
as I
10
have
more
a
years.
window.
Can you imagine
10
that
more.
10 years from now? Like,
Yeah.
I'd be like
All
the
right.
crypt keeper.
Oh my
Anyway,
gosh.
sorry.
All
I
right.
just
So
wanted to put that
anyway,
PSA in before people got
thank
excited.
you.
Oh, I can just wait. No, don't wait.
So I called I called the passport line, scheduled the appointment. Went down the night before. The appointment was on a Tuesday morning at 8:30. I got to the passport office in Miami at about 7:15.
You took the bright line?
I took the Bright Line.
Mhm.
Yes. That was very nice. I'm taking the Bright Line again tomorrow. So we're loving the Bright Line. Um, so when you go, and this is for if we're linking anyone to this story so that they need to see what I did, or if someone finds this, when you're in the Miami passport office specifically, when you go in through the doors and going up to the passport office, they are going to ask you for proof of your reservation. I did not have proof of my reservation. But I did write it down. I wrote down the reservation number and the code that they gave me, like the unique identifier code, which is something they create with you on the phone, and just kind of nicely wrote it all out. I didn't have anything printed. That worked well enough, but what I recommend is printing out your confirmation email when you schedule your appointment. Print that confirmation email out because they're going to email you confirmation. Print that out, have that with your paperwork. Have like a folder. Some people did not have things organized. Have a folder of everything that you're going to need for that appointment. And then once I got upstairs, they allowed me upstairs. The security guard allowed me upstairs. Got upstairs. You wait in a general pre-screening line. They're screening to make sure you have everything that you should have for your appointment before you even go through security because they don't want to waste anyone's time, right?
No.
So they're going to confirm that you have everything that you need, and then you go through security. I went through security. Then once you're through security, you go in to check in for the appointment. So then you
Like
check in for the
TSA
appointment.
screening?
Yeah, you go through a metal detector.
Oh.
Yeah, you go through metal. Well, any government.
I guess
like,
it's a
you go
Any
it's a
through-
government
government
building,
building,
Yeah, you
yeah.
go through the courthouse and they'll send you
Mhm.
through that. So
Yeah, when I got my passport, I had to do all that.
it's nothing intense. It's just
The courthouse.
the courthouse. Yeah, it's the courthouse. Because when I got my passport originally, I went to the courthouse.
Mhm.
It's so southern. I love it.
Okay. All right. So, and then once I checked in, literally as soon as I was checked in, oh, they asked me when I checked in because they asked me this twice, the check-in and the actual appointment. They asked me how far or where I lived because they didn't recognize the city on my paperwork, and I basically said Central Florida. And because I think that they were gauging how long it would take between how long it was between the moment we were in then to the time that I traveled, and I think they were trying to gauge how long mail would take is my guess. That's my only guess of why they asked several times about that. So anyway, as soon as I checked in, they call my number. I go up. They very quickly check my paperwork. They ask me again where the city that we live in, where that is in the state, and then they tell me, all right, everything's processed. They took payment. I paid with a card. I just paid with a credit card. And then they told me, okay, you'll come back at 1 p.m. to pick up your passport, which I was like, oh, thank goodness, because now I don't have to wait on mail or anything. So it was now probably like, what, Liz? It was probably like 7:30.
You texted me at like it was like 7:42 or like it was crazy early that you were
Right.
done.
So I got done very quickly, and so basically I had to kill
7:40.
time. Yeah. So I had to kill time so until 1 o'clock, and I had to be there right at 1, and I couldn't be there any later than 2 because they closed the office. So
Yeah.
I basically went across the street to a Marriott, and I basically had breakfast and camped out at a Marriott that was across the street. Got my passport at 1, and then went to the station, changed my ticket to an earlier train time to come back up north. So that's basically how it went. In terms of my experience with what kind of people are going, basically the security guard was one of the people in front of me, he was like, oh, you're traveling, you're going on vacation? So it's not necessarily anything written in, because they never asked why I was traveling. So I think that it's just for anyone who is traveling within 2 weeks. So
Unless you're trying to catch people.
okay. As I was leaving, a woman was at the downstairs security guard, like begging him to like help her get a appointment. I was like, girl, first of all, they're about to close, so you're barking up the wrong tree anyway, because it's like 1:20, and they don't have any more appointments today, period, because they're not an appointment. That's not like, I think they're probably finish their appointments by 11 so that they can do whatever they needed to do and process. But like, girl, you're barking up the wrong tree. So something that I did here in my research of this, and this is probably going way longer than we need to in the story, but is people
short and sweet tonight.
People say that the passport office or the passport hotline closes at 10 o'clock in the evening. So they say call later in the evening because some people might cancel their appointment for tomorrow, the next day, or somehow they might have an opening for the next day. So keep trying for your passport appointment if you, don't like the one that you got, or you need another location, or you want to change your time. The passport hotline is open until 10 p.m. So that's a little nugget of info.
Hotline bling.
Yep. All right. So that's it. So that's why I had to go and get my passport.
You're going to Singapore.
We're going to Singapore. So
I can't wait. I'm so proud of you both. I'm so excited for you both. This is
we're very excited.
Incredible opportunity.
Yes, and we're hoping this is a gateway to bring a lot more international travel to Brian Treks and to the things that we do, and we're able to cover
and share with you guys
and share with everyone. So
and share with me.
The other interesting thing about Singapore is, if you are familiar with what's happening at Disney Cruise Line, Singapore will be the port of call for one of the newest Disney ships, the largest Disney Cruise Line ship. that they are currently working on right now, and Singapore will be the like what
Home
would you call
base.
that? The home base
Home
for
port. Home
the
port.
sure home port for the new ship that will um, do sailings through Asia. So
Amazing.
this will not be the first or the excuse me the last time that we are in Singapore, I am sure.
Hmm.
Speaking of cruises, one last thought to add.
Mm.
The 9-month world cruise just started with Royal
Really?
Caribbean.
Oh.
Something to
With
keep eyes on.
Royal?
I'm sure. hmm
Hmm.
Yeah,
Where did it start out of?
275 days.
That's crazy.
In Florida. I think it didn't look like Port Canaveral, and I didn't look, to be honest. I want to say it's Fort Lauderdale or Miami, because it didn't look anything like Port Canaveral. So
Okay.
Hmm.
more to come. We'll keep an eye and see how the ship fares. I can't imagine being on a ship for that long, unless I
Seems
was
like a
getting paid. Like
long.
if I had a contract to work on a ship, sure,
Hmm.
but not as a guest.
I think I would just
They
get
had
tired of eating the same things over and over.
that, and then I saw that they gave the guests like walking journals and like
Hmm.
fitness guides and stuff. I guess because it just reminded me
Wally.
of Wally. Yes, I almost said Up. I was like, that's the wrong Pixar film. Reminded me of Wally because I feel like people are just going to eat and not do anything.
Exercise, yeah.
And
What's that
that's
one
a fear of
mean?
mine.
Because I feel like I will say though, the only food I wouldn't get tired of is Virgin Voyages pizza. That I could eat forever.
Right, but like 275 days worth, 7 days, sure.
For TJ, yeah.
Hmm.
But the appeal is that you're traveling all over the world, so you're picking up items everywhere.
True.
So the food would be refreshed, but I don't know. I don't think I can do it.
It sucks though, because yeah, you're traveling all over and you try to bring food back with you, but you can't bring it back on.
And you can't bring it on
Hmm.
unless you buy it. But even
Right.
at that point, what would the storage look like? Like, say you go to Italy and you buy a case of wine, but then 2,000 other, like, the logistics of it are crazy.
Hmm.
So,
Somebody's gonna give up and they'll be like, "All right, just drop me off here."
yeah, I'm going home.
Well,
Anywho.
thank you everyone for joining us tonight.
Well, before we wrap up,
Okay.
one last thing. I will say though, since this is the last episode of the year, we should end it on something that we're thankful for that happened this year
Aw.
and what we're looking forward to next year.
Hmm.
So I'll go first. I'll say I'm super thankful that we were able to travel to Europe. This was my first time traveling to Europe, and I'm super thankful for that. And next year, I'm super excited to have this grow with all of you guys and make more connections with this community.
That's so sweet, TJ.
What about you
Alright, me
guys?
next.
Yeah.
I feel like Brian needs another minute, so I'll go. I'm thankful that I'm healthy
Mhm.
and happy, at least for the most part. Shut up, Matt.
Oh.
That I have a wonderful husband. I'm thankful that hopefully next year electrical issues in our house will be solved. Because I'm sitting out here in the floor
Yeah,
of my
for those who
hallway.
don't know, Liz is sitting on the
You wouldn't have
floor.
known it until you
Well,
said that.
yeah, you wouldn't have known it. She,
My dog Pickles was here next to me on the floor,
he
but
said,
he's
I'm
since
out.
vacated. He's like, I need the couch. No, but in all seriousness, I think next year I'm looking forward to, similar to TJ, continuing relationships with people, making lots of money, and being able to travel.
Yes. It's my turn.
Brian.
Well, I'm thankful that we stuck through. For the most part, we didn't. I think we were only silent a few weeks, and we never, even though there was probably times that I wanted to say we're not doing it today. We never really did that. We always planned our being away from Parkside Chat. Parkside Chat is something that I want to continue to work on in 2024 and fine tune and improve. But I just really wanted to get started because one thing that I have learned from growing Brian Trex is that you just have to get started. So this is kind of what that is. It's not the final product of Parkside Chat or Parkside branding at all. There's more I want to do with it. It's just time and resources and all of that, so things that we have to work on and figure out, but I wanted to at least get started. So I'm glad that I had Liz and TJ to help and that we kind of stuck through it. We are going to probably take almost, my guess is going to be like 4 weeks silent, but it's for good reason. I need a little bit of downtime, and then we're going to be traveling, and we don't know what that looks like yet. So,
Yeah.
and we might adjust nights the night we do it and all that. I think those things might adjust. So
We should do it when I'm in town in January together.
we can. So originally, actually, this episode was going to be a Magic Kingdom episode, and we were going
that's
to be
right,
in
yeah.
the park, but things just changed with that, and we will eventually do like an in-park episode. We will
be
literally
cute.
be parkside, or
Whether
like
it's
park
Disney,
inside.
Universal, SeaWorld, any park.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It might do like a walk and talk, because what I discovered on the YouTube mobile app, you can go live and then invite somebody. So you can actually, we can invite you. Suppose I don't know how that works. I don't know how all that works.
Fantastic.
We'll have to figure that out. But anyway, that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for sticking through and continuing to grow this specific platform. Next year, YouTube is definitely something that we are interested in growing and continuing to build. And overall, I'm thankful for all of the challenges, all the opportunities that I had this year to grow as a creator and a business person. And I think next year is already set up to be an amazing year. So
You're getting a hell of a kickstart.
yes, we're going to have a very firm kickstart, and I think it will only launch into many other things and opportunities. So I appreciate everyone's support, and we will see you next year.
All right, until next time.
And happy Hanukkah,
Yes.
and
Happy
Merry
Hanukkah.
Christmas, and happy Kwanzaa, and all the things.
Happy Christmas, Ron.
How many are there? That's birthdays, but whatever.
How many are there?
How many holidays are there? But we will see you
Matt
all.
says Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Merry Christmas, you filthy. Make sure you're following on Instagram. If you're not following on Instagram, please do, because we're going to post there. We have some fun things in the holidays. We booked a tea. We're going to do tea.
Four Seasons?
No,
For when
I wanted
Liz is
to do that. But no, when Alini's here, my friend
Okay.
Alini from Brazil is here, we're going to do
cute.
a tea at the, how do you pronounce this? I'm going to put it in the, that's the hotel name. How do you
Et?
pronounce that? The Et Hotel.
Hmm.
It's over kind of by Animal Kingdom, and they have an afternoon tea.
Oh, okay.
And so we've booked that. I'm trying to get reservations for somewhere on New Year's Eve on Disney property, but I didn't get to
Maybe
that in
Ete?
advance. Ete? Are you still thinking about that, Liz? So anyway,
I Googled it.
we still have quite a few fun things planned around here for the Christmas season, the holiday season. So stay tuned on Instagram and Instagram stories for all that fun. And we will see you guys here on Parkside Chat sometime in January in the new year.
In 2024.
Happy
So
New
don't
Year.
get your tinsel in a tangle. All right. That was my final
Okay.
words. Anyone else have final
No, I
words?
was-
Okay,
I was-
bye.
I was going to go with the one I'm not allowed to say, so I had to shut myself up.
Yes.
Happy
you're not
holidays,
allowed-
everyone.
That's a better thing to say.
Merry Chrysler.
Merry Crisis.
Merry Crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have that video as the outro.
Wow.
All right. Good evening, everyone. We will see you very soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.